Been warning people of this for years, man. That this could happen, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to have you here, man.
Yeah, good to be here.
Hey, welcome. This is Grant Cardone and Jeff Bounds, and we're here today to provide at this very precarious, what is it called? Like
Unforeseen circumstances.
unforeseen. Like who would ever imagine? I feel like I'm in a movie most of the time. Okay, I go from being sick to my stomach to terrified, wanting to cry this morning, and like. There's an unprecedented was the word I was looking for. Jeff didn't come up with the right word. Unprecedented event, and so we want to provide all the car dealers out there some value at a time that I know that you got to be scared for yourself, your families, your finances, your customers. I know that we're having that experience down here in Miami with having to look at every little part of our business and how it affects our customers, our employees, and our own families. So I hope, first of all, that you're safe and you're abiding by the coronavirus health mandates. We're trying to do our best. We had to cancel a couple of events because it was more than 10 people. It was 700 people. And everybody's having to change right now. So I just want to share a couple things with you, and then Jeff's going to go into 3 things that you can be doing right now. And give you specific strategies of what you can do at this time. I want to say to you right now that we will get through this, period. Okay, this human species, who we are as a civilization, not just Americans, Asians, Indians, Persians, Canadians, the Spanish, Brazilians, we have always survived. And, if you're anything like me, a week ago, I was having a terrible week. If you knew where I was, I can't tell you where I was. I was going through this ordeal. It's unbelievable. Like the worst week of my life. I would trade last week for this week, like right now. I thought what I was complaining about last week was a problem. And then this week, I'm like, oh man, I'll take those problems all day long. So what do you do about it? What do you do about it right now? Maybe you were to just let go from your job right now and you still have access to this channel. You know, maybe you got the news today that your manufacturer is going to shut down for 60 days. Maybe you're watching CNBC right now and hearing the stock market went up or down 2,000 points and unemployment's going to soar to 2 million next payroll, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is you got to understand, you will survive this. The question is, how will you survive and who will you be on the other side? There's no dying out of this. Okay, I was going to jump out the window a few minutes ago and I'm like, oh, I'm on the first floor. All I'm going to do is beat up my face. Like there's no getting out of the scenario right now. That's what everybody must understand. The first thing you got to break through is denial as fast as you can. You got to break through and embrace the reality of the situation, okay? I wish there were zombies outside so I could go shoot something. At least I would know who the target is. There's none of that to deal with. This is unknown territory, unprecedented. You didn't cause it. I didn't cause it, but I'm in it. Now what? Okay, now what? What you don't want to do is be like, is there going to be a recession? Yes, there's going to be a recession. Okay? Assume every worst case scenario. Every worst case scenario, you should just say, that's what's going to happen. You now have to make a decision about how you are on the other end of this because you're not going to die. You're not going to die. A handful of people will die for the coronavirus. Most of us will survive, and the body organism Grant Cardone will get on the other side of this deal. Okay, you will get on the other side. Jeff and his wife and his kids will be on the other side of this deal. The question is now, how did he get through it? How did I get through this? And who am I on the other side? Am I better or worse? So quit thinking like there's an out here. There isn't an out. There's no out. Okay? You're going to be on second base for a long time, and nobody's going to get you into to the home plate. There's nothing you can do to suddenly score or pop an umbrella and you're protected. You're in it. The question is, are you in it to win it? Are you in it for the long term? Are you in it, and who are you going to become as you go through this When people look back on this time, what are they going to say about you, how you acted? Did you make the hard decisions, the tough decisions? Did you get up when everybody else was crying? Did you get up and show up early? Did you show up late? Did you bitch and moan the whole time? Who were you while you went through this? Mm-hmm. These are defining moments, folks. You know, like you're not in a war. It's not World War II and the Japanese are shooting freaking bullets over your head. Or the Americans, you're Japanese and the Americans are shooting at you. Was that World War II?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not in Vietnam right now. Charlie Sheen in Vietnam in that movie, and you're going freaking nuts and smoking weed all the time, and you're tripping out, whatever. Right? There could always be a worse situation. Is my point. You know, thank God you're not in some alley right now with a needle in your arm, and you keep shooting heroin in your arm, and you're overdosing, and there's nobody there to help you. There's somebody with a worse situation than you have. Who are you going to be on the other side of this? You're selling cars, you're a sales manager, you're a service manager, you're a parts manager, you're a mechanic, you're a used car salesman. You're brand new or you've been around a long time. Guess what? The world don't care. Don't care how many kids you got, whether you're Catholic, Protestant, agnostic, atheist, Jewish. Ain't nobody cares about any of that right now. Who are you when you wake up in the morning? Who are you at 10 o'clock in the morning, at 12, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, at 4 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, at 9 o'clock? When you think you deserve to go home, who are you really? Did you make the calls? Did you follow up? Were you the beacon of positivity? Or were you the guy just sharing rumors and gossip and bad news? We want to come to you, okay? I want my company to come to you and offer to be a beacon of direction and guidance. I'm not talking about motivation and a positive attitude. I'm not talking about that because you know what? You don't need a positive attitude to get through this. You need to get through this, whether you have a positive attitude or not. This whole positivity thing is so overrated. I'm like, yeah, dude, it don't matter because you ain't gonna be positive. All you got to do is listen to anyone in your environment. You're gonna be like, shit, I ain't positive. I'm scared. Who are you going to be, even though you're scared? Even though there doesn't look like there's light at the end of the tunnel, and you're never going to get through this, are you going to make the call? Are you going to follow up? Are you going to call those people that bought cars from you years ago? 2 last year? Hey, how y'all doing? What can I do for you? Can I help you? Can I service your car? Because there's not going to be a score for you this week. Okay, if you were selling 12 or 15 cars a month, you're probably going to go to 3 or 4. How are you going to act when you're doing 3 or 4 units? You're going to blame it on the economy, blame it on Trump, blame it on the recession, blame it on Corona, blame it on Chinese, whatever. All the rumors, the gossip time, the sharing of the theories and the conspiracy. A guy tells me last night at 10 o'clock at night about the conspiracy. I'm like, bro, I ain't got time for the conspiracy. Go get another $1. What would you do, Grant? Go get another $1. Go get another $1. First thing I would do every day was first thing I would do right now is I would look at everywhere I could drop my expenses. How do I reduce my expenses? And the second thing I would do is, how do I go get $1? Okay, there are things that you should get rid of right now that you should not spend money on. There are things you should not spend money on. There's other things that you need to spend money on, okay? You have to protect some things because on the other end of this, you're going to have those same problems again, like housing. You do not want to blow out of your housing right now because a year from now, you need a place to live. But everything else needs to be negotiated. How you eat, the water you drink, where you live, that can't be negotiated. How you treat your customers cannot be negotiated with, okay? Those are things that like this is my future. Everything else on the table, man. Negotiate with it, take it off the table, get rid of it, throw it away. Second thing you need to be focused on right now is where do I get $1? Where do I get $2? Where do I get $3? How do I get $4? How can I sell somebody something? The way out is to understand it's going to be painful. And you're the only one that can get you through this. And your attitude won't matter. What you do will matter. Okay, a positive attitude will not matter. What you do every day.
Action.
Action. The actions you take. I'm going to leave it with Jeff. Hey, we want to support you. We're here for you. For those of you who would like a couple of these, you're like, man, I'd love to have a couple of these every month for your staff. We're going to offer you a special for you to take advantage of that so that you can make it affordable for you to get support from us. Okay, I am helping thousands of companies today prosper and flourish and do great things. But this is where I'm best, right here, in this environment right here, where things are crunchy and tough. Okay? You need somebody to tell you the truth and specific strategies. This is not business as usual. This is extremely unusual. And it requires unusual strategies that are simple and very basic, reminders and direction and guidance in a very noisy world. So Jeff, take it away.
Thanks,
I know
Grant.
I'm not supposed to, this is the new handshake, by the way. This is the new handshake. We should, the coronavirus 10X handshake, okay? Hey, God bless you guys. I'm pulling for you. Let us help you, okay? Let us help you. Please let us help you. And if you let us help you, we will help you. Everybody needs help right now. Let's pull together. Maybe this is the thing that the whole world needed, to quit talking about all this dumb stuff that we talk about all the time. And now everybody can pull together and say, hey, let's go back and rebuild. I think when we get on the other end of this,
We're gonna be stronger.
Dude, it's going to be the most unbelievable thing that we've ever been through in our lives, okay?
Appreciate it.
Take care of them, Jeff.
Awesome. Everybody, really appreciate you jumping on today. We apologize. We intended to have today be a live event, to actually be our second 10X Automotive Summit. But like Grant was just saying, we want to give back to you guys. And in these uncertain times, you need to have that positive voice out there to be able to get you from where you are today to where you need to be on the next level. And just, it gets real, I'm blessed and fortunate to represent a gentleman that, I admire. He's been preparing us, and he's been preparing you, if you're following Grant, like you should be, on how to get your mind right and how to be strong enough to be able to know how to pivot when times get tough. So what I wanted to talk about today, because everybody was like, what are you going to talk to car dealers about today? I mean, what's going to be relevant? Because look, I'm going to be the first one, and Grant he's always real, and he's the voice of truth. The reality is, what we have known until today is gone. You're not going to have people going into your stores. I assume probably many of you, you probably closed down, possibly service is still open, the service lane. You're kind of uncertain. I know some of the manufacturers have shut down production, at least until the end of March. There's uncertainty. But with that being said, and what Grant was just talking about earlier, to get where you are now and to break through the noise, you got to do things different. And if you guys don't have a copy of it, Grant actually wrote a book called If You're Not First, You're Last. And that book is so relevant that if you pick it up today and you start reading it, you'll actually feel like he's literally talking to you, because it is reality. It is what you have to do to get your mind right, to be prepared to get to the next level. So with that being said, we're going to talk about 3 things today that I just wanted to reach out to you because they're super relevant to get you from what the current condition is today and get you through it to where you want to be and get you out on the other side and be stronger. And the first one is kind of like I alluded to, many of your showrooms are closed, I'm assuming. That's just what I read, and half the stuff you read is not accurate anyway. By the way, we want you to call in during this webcast because I want to talk to you guys, kind of find out, get a pulse of what's going on inside of the industry. So if you want to call and you got a question or you just want to talk about what's going on, you can call in at 305-865-8668. Is that correct, Johnny? 305-865-8668. Give us a call. Be more than happy to answer your question, just kind of find out what's going on out there. So the first thing that I want to talk about that is more relevant today than it has ever been is selling out of the service lane, equity mining. You got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to find out where are your areas of opportunity. If your dealership's closed, instead of sitting at home, watching CNBC, watching Netflix, watching Prime Video, you got to be willing to go to the next level. So if the service lane is open, go to your general manager, go to your dealer principal, raise your hand, man. You want to go in and work with those folks inside of the service lane and be able to provide them an offer. They're coming in anyway, so why not get in there and set up a plan to be able to have engagement with customers? And this is going to be one of the 3 things that we talk about. I promise you there's going to be some takeaways today. If you listen to this and you act, you jump into action, it's going to change the game, because I guarantee you 95% of the other people aren't going to do it. They're just going to sit back, feel sorry for themselves, and hope for change. But hope is not the answer to get you where you need to be. That can only be done with action. So with that being said, equity mining, what is it? What it is, if you're not familiar, is it's a process that we're going to leverage software either through your dealer management system, your CRM. Look at what's going on with the OEMs right now, and it's going to tell you who's in a position to trade up 2-3 model years newer, keep their payment the same, or potentially even lower it. And my suspicion, and what I've already seen by the rate, by the Fed taking the rate down to 0, I believe that the manufacturers are going to release some of the most aggressive programs ever in the history of the car business. So what does that do? It opens up an opportunity for you to leverage it while it's hot. You're going to be able to do that through equity mining. So the question is, how are you going to identify these people? And if you're not doing this, why haven't you? Well, I mean, the reality is it's 2020. And everybody should have been on an equity mining, data mining program for at least the past 5 to 8 years. But the reason why is because you tried it before and it didn't work. Or, look, business has been great. You've had people flooding your showroom and it's been like shooting fish in a barrel. So you were just hanging on, the low-hanging fruit, and maybe you didn't have your attention on it because you're already selling your 8, 10, 15, 20 cars a month like clockwork because, again, the economy has been the best that it's ever been. But we woke up today, it's different. You got to pivot. So you failed before, so what? Maybe you never tried to use it before just because you didn't think it was relevant or you didn't need it or you didn't want to invest the money in that platform to give you the data that you need to move forward. Or maybe you didn't think you had the staff to be able to implement it. Well, now, many of you, there is no staff because the showroom's closed. Maybe you still have a BDC or you have your people working from home. Again, I want you to call in and I want you to tell me what is actually going on so I can potentially try to help you with some solutions. But what we're going to talk about a little bit later is what you're going to do different than what you've done before to engage with these people. And I'm going to give you a little hint. It has to do with either the iPhone or the Android. You're going to start really burning that thing up. Maybe you didn't have a process. It's going to be an easy process now. Showrooms closed. People are coming through the service lane. People, got to make a payment on their car anyway. Some people are going to be in a financial position that's uncomfortable. Some of these people are going to be able to weather the storm, and they're looking for that deal. There are going to be those opportunities. So again, the only way you're going to know is to go into action, hit the wall running, and make the call. Make the introduction. If they don't want you to go into the dealership, if they don't want you to engage with customers in the service lane, everybody's implementing this social distancing thing. Hey man, just wash your hands, use sanitizer, whatever. But even if they tell you can't go into the store, you can still pick up the damn phone, man. You can still leverage it. They're coming in, they're transacting with your dealership. They got to make a decision. It's your opportunity to reach out to let them know that even though through these challenging times, we want to offer you value. We want to make sure you can take advantage of a deal that maybe they'll never see again in their lifetime. That's how you have to think, right? And then if you had tried an equity mining platform, maybe your follow-up sucked, right? Maybe you didn't follow up because, again, when times are easy, your follow-up game doesn't have to be tight. Now, you got to be a pro. Your follow-up game needs to be extremely tight. You got to think outside of the box, and you got to reach out to people with service first, have empathy, understand what's going on, but at the same time, giving them an opportunity to upgrade. Don't assume that all these people aren't going to be interested. Don't assume that there's not people out there that want to upgrade or get into a new vehicle, because I guarantee you they're there. You just got to stay consistent with it. And then maybe you had a vendor that sucked, right? And I'm going to be the first one to admit I've actually been in those circumstances. Vendors will sell you the dream, they'll offer you a product, but maybe they didn't give you the playbook or the game plan to be able to get there, or maybe they didn't even explain to you how the system worked. Now, vendors in the automotive industry need to be supporting you guys. We're a vendor and we're going to be supporting you. That I can promise you. One of the things, if you're not aware of, and those of you that are new to Cardone Automotive Resources, you're new to what we're doing here, every single Friday at 10 a.m., I do a live broadcast on Grant's Facebook and YouTube page, and it's called the 10X Automotive Weekly. Johnny, if you could throw that up on the screen, I just want everybody to see this. So this is going to be going on every single Friday at 10 a.m. It's all car business. You know, tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to deal with and sell to different personality styles. We've talked about follow-up. We've talked about selling from service. There's an archive of these calls if you go to grantcardonetv.com. I am committed. Grant Cardone is committed. And we're committed here at Cardone Automotive Resources to provide you the value that you need to get through this. And you got to get your mind right. Instead of watching the news, start to think, how are you going to get the dollar, as Grant said? What is going to be your strategy to get that money? Because you need to get it now. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your family. I promise you, this is not going to last forever. This is going to end. And those of us that are committed to thinking outside of the box, those of us that are willing to pivot, to think about things in a different way, are going to end out on top. And then you're going to look back at this and you won't be that same person. You're going to be stronger and you're going to be prepared to get to the next level. So in staying consistent with selling out of service or how you can leverage this, you got to understand that this is not just your service lane. And that's one of the biggest misnomers when it comes to equity mining, data mining. Everybody first and foremost thinks about it, it's just in the lane. Well, the one thing that you have today that you have and you've always had but you've neglected is your customer database. So again, I'm assuming, but I mean, most of the CRMs today are web-based. So even if you have to work remote, if your BDCs are centralized, you can still have access to your customer database. Now you need to really leverage that. Use your equity mining platform to not only look at what's going on in service and providing value to those people that are continuing to transact with your dealer, but find out the ones that you can call and make an offer. And what you're doing is you're creating and you're building a pipeline which you don't have today. Maybe the internet leaves has stopped. Again, maybe your store is closed, but you can still pick up the phone and make outbound calls. That's one of the things in the car business that we've never until today, or when this whole thing started with coronavirus, have ever had to really train hard on or get great at. But now that's the key. That's the answer. You know, the car business has always been a business where it's a reactionary business. We haven't traditionally been proactive because we have leads funneling in, people coming to the showrooms. Now you got to look for those individuals. You got to conduct your business like every other business outside of the automotive business has been, you know, what they've been leveraging for the past 10 to 20 years. We just got to think about it differently. You know, and you got to contact your customers in ways, even with leveraging the phone, get on social media, get your message out there. I've seen a lot of the dealers that we work with really thinking outside the box. We got Team Toyota. I don't know if you guys are on the call today. You're always forward thinking. You're looking to leverage social media and build a brand for yourself. Rob Ruth out at Bob Ruth Ford out in Pennsylvania. He's always, I see him every single day in my feeds, you know, giving updates, letting your customers know what's going on. Get out there, brand yourself, let people know what's happening. Do posting every single day. Talk about the programs that you have going on. Talk about how you have a vehicle exchange program that you're leveraging now. Even though they can't come into the showroom, they can actually be able to come in, have a private consultation. You can do it on the phone. You know, you can go take the car to them, whatever you need to do to keep business flowing as usual. You got to think outside the box and you got to leverage a multi-leveled approach. We recommend a 4-level approach. So if you do this, what's going to happen? Well, you know, the higher gross thing is something that, you know, obviously if business was running as usual, look, guys, now the main thing is about getting car deals done, getting opportunities, making deals, right? Our main focus right now as a company is to support our dealerships. One of the things I want to throw out there to you is, for those of you that are a current Cardone On Demand customer, I'm going to offer you one free sales rally that we'll do virtually for your team, free of charge. You need to get your people pumped up. Maybe your people are all over the place, either they're at home or whatever. The beauty of webcasts, the beauty of using a virtual platform is you can reach anyone, anywhere, because what you need to do right now is keep these people engaged. So if that's something that you're interested in, email me at jeff@grantcardone.com and I'll set up a phone call and we'll get you scheduled for one of those training sessions. So going back to what we're talking about here, this 4-phase approach in service to sales, it's going to get you higher gross, increased sales volume. Now you just need to sell one car a day. Focus on one car. How are you going to get one opportunity to get in front of somebody, to have a conversation, to sell a vehicle? You're going to do that through service to sales. You're going to be able to get new customers that maybe didn't originally have an experience with you. Maybe they just service at your dealership and they bought somewhere else. And maybe that dealership that they traditionally transact with, maybe they're asleep. They're not calling their customers. They're not offering them, the deals that are coming out. They're not offering to upgrade their car. Keep this in your mind, man. You got to think differently. You got to think outside the box, and you got to try things that you never tried before. If you have aged inventory, that's going to become a challenge. Cars are going to become aged because if there's no showroom traffic, if the internet leads have slowed down, you can even set up a strategy or a campaign to call on these aged cars, try to match them with customers that are in a position to upgrade so you can work that angle. And look, you just got to be proactive with your marketing. You got to be smart about it. You got to get the message out there. Leverage social media. It's one of the gifts, the greatest gifts that we have today to get our message out to a magnitude of different customers. Leverage it. You're going to get yourself nice trades. I don't even know what's going on in the used car market right now. I don't even know, is the auction open? Is Manheim open? Do we have any callers? We have one caller? No callers? Guys, call in, man. I want to find out what's going on. 305-865-8668. Is the auction open? How are you guys getting pre-owned vehicles right now? What are you even doing around that? I'd love to know. Service contracts, your F&I department, if you want to get them engaged and nobody's come in the showroom, get them on the phone. Start having them call up customers and find out, look, do they want to get an extended service contract? Are they looking to maybe trade out and get into a new vehicle that already has a full factory warranty? Leverage that aspect. And then at the end of the day, what you're trying to do as a dealership, as a business, is you want to create loyalty. You want to create a situation where your customers understand that you care. I know some of the dealerships out there are reaching back right now. They're giving out to the community. My friends over at Coons, I don't know if Mark is on at Coons Ford Baltimore. Great guy, great organization. I saw him, he had a post this week, and he's offering out to his customers, hey, we'll bring the car to you. We'll bring it to your house. We'll bring it to your office. I love that because I don't see other people doing it. Because if you're the one that's doing it and nobody else is, think about how the market share is going to open for you. Think about how you're going to create that opportunity to be able to drive, additional sales and keep everything moving forward. So, in the service lane, this is really relevant. Before this happened, even before all this crazy stuff went on, it was our largest source of traffic. So think about this. If your service lane is still operating, you're still focusing on the sales channel that has the highest amount of traffic inside of your dealership. So just guys, we have to leverage it. We have to take it seriously now. These people are obviously, they believed in your brand before. Grant always talks about the second sale is easiest. They already believed in your brand one time to make a decision. They're currently driving the vehicle today. They currently have a payment. They currently have to do service on their car. They're making a payment anyway. They're doing service. Maybe they have a warranty, maybe they don't. They're coming into your service lane. They need transportation. Last time I checked, there's still gas at the gas station and you still got to get to work. You got to have a vehicle. People are still going to continue to drive. Make the offer. Give them the opportunity to better their situation. I promise you, you're going to have takers. I promise you that the programs are going to be able to substantiate this moving forward. You just got to do it. We talked about how to get the trades. I mean, how to pull people into the market. I mean, people right now aren't expecting to get calls from you. Maybe they don't even know if you're open. Maybe that they don't even know if your service department is open. Imagine if you just started reaching out to your customers and letting them know, hey, either you do it online, you do it on the phone, however you want to communicate with them. Hey, we're currently here to support you. Our service lane is open. We've just launched a new vehicle exchange program for you. Even though the showroom is not ready today, if you are interested, we're providing some of the best deals ever in the history of the car business. Please give us a call. We'd love to do an independent consultation for you. If you feel more comfortable, we can do it virtually, or we can meet you one-on-one in an environment that's conducive to your safety. I'm just coming up with this stuff, guys. But this is what I would be saying as if I was in your shoes right now. So look, everything that you do has to have a target. Everything that you do has to be measurable. So what Grant had come up with, and whether you look at the 10X rule, you look at any of the training we have in the Cardone On-Demand platform, it's like, look, you got to do the math. Right now, you need to have a goal in mind of how many cars you're going to generate for yourself in this current circumstance. What is that? How many calls do you need to make? What do you need to do to make that relevant? If your dealership before, it's here on the screen, take a look at it, make it your own, open up your mind and think about this. If you had 1,000 ROs every single month, excluding internals, you would have 4 to 6 customers a day that are in a position to potentially upgrade. So look, this becomes real now. This is not an option. This is an additional sales funnel. This may be just reality of what you had to work with. If you're open 26 days a month for service, that's 104 to 156 touches, opportunities that you can still have today to communicate with these customers and see if they're interested in upgrading their vehicle. So do the math on it. You could do 26 to 39 car deals every single month, regardless if the store is closed. There's chains on the doors. If people are coming through your service lane, you still have the opportunity to engage with people. 26 to 39 car deals. Even if you only do half of that, whoever's working that lane is going to make a decent amount of money while we're going through this. And again, eventually this will end. So of the people that are coming through your service lane, almost half of these people didn't originally buy from you. Maybe they have a relationship with your service advisor. Maybe they've never come into the front end of the dealership in your showroom. Maybe they don't have a salesperson. You need to look at your customer database. You need to dig into that CRM. You got to be tapping that CRM to find out who these people are and give them an opportunity to transact with you. Because I can promise you, there's opportunities there. You just got to find where they are. So if it's a customer that didn't originally buy from you, you're leveraging an equity mining system, you're not going to have their information. So what most businesses do, what most dealerships are doing around this, they're really savvy, is we realize that the conquest customers are there. Before we used to have to use direct mail campaigns and figure out ways how we can drive additional traffic. They're already there anyway. You just didn't know what their payoff was or what their current situation is. You could leverage like soft credit pull programs, leverage them through the 3 major credit institutions and be able to find out where they are in the situation and make them an offer. So look, customer database. We just talked about the service lane. Guys, this is all relevant today, right now. You can get off of this today, and we're going to run about an hour, just so you know. We're going to run about an hour. You can get off of this call, and you can go into action. You can start doing some different things than maybe what you were doing before you jumped on this call. We talked about the lane. Look at your customer database. Look at this. Do the math. 10,000 total customers in your database, and that would be a smaller store, but I'm just using this as a sample size. 10 to 15% of those people are in a position to upgrade. It's 1,000 to 1,500 opportunities. If you guys close at a 25% rate and your average gross profit is $1,500, that's 200 to 375 additional car deals per year by working that database. Do the math. Divide it by 12. What does that look like? What is that going to do for you? Pick up the phone and call. I promise you, you will be one of the few that are actually forward-thinking enough to do this, and you're going to get touches and opportunities to be able to move forward. You got to make multiple points of contact. Typically what I talk about is people want to have information in different ways based on how they absorb it and what's relevant to them. If you're going to try to contact a millennial, don't call them on the phone. hit them with a text. Yeah, call and email, but if you want to get maximum engagement, leverage your text game. They love to text. How many times have you called one of your kids on the phone, they don't answer, you text them, they respond right back? That's how they want to be communicated with. So hit the phone, hit the text messages, send out letters, send out direct mail, hit social media. Right now, you got to pull out all the stops. You got to do whatever it takes. You got to figure out how you're going to get attention and get in front of these people. And if you're in a market where you have a lot of seniors and stuff like that, they love direct mail. They love letters. They love all that kind of stuff. So don't take anything into account. Just do it all. Don't think about it. You go into analysis paralysis. Just go into action, massive action, and do it. And I promise you, your dealer will give you no complaints. If you start sending out personalized letters, you start making the calls, sending the emails, getting on social, build a brand for yourself. Give them the reason of why they want to do business with you. You got to have massive action. 10X rule. If you haven't read the 10X rule, read the 10X rule. This is going to tell you everything you need to do to be prepared for what you're going to face today. And look, Grant's been talking about this for years. Massive action, being prepared, action, pipeline, everything that you need to do, getting your mind right. These are what you do to be prepared to go into battle with what we're facing today. Am I scared? I'm not scared. Why? Because I'm prepared. I'm willing to do what it takes to get through this and realize that there is light on the other side. I'm going to have to work twice as hard. I'm going to have to pull out the stops. I'm going to have to do things outside of the normal, outside of the ordinary, but it's going to get me through. These are the people, if you conduct these sort of actions, they're going to get to the other side, and when this breaks, I promise you're going to be better. So, okay, let's have the caller, Natalie.
All right, you got Melinda Baird on the line.
Awesome. Hey, Melinda, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Who's this?
This is Jeff Bounds.
Hey, Jeff.
Who are you with? What dealership are you with?
Well, multiple. I've been a Cardonite for a long time. I know Grant, and I've got an agency, and we specialize in automotive advertising and marketing. You're asking some questions specific to, auctions and, what dealers are doing out there. So we've got a lot of movement out in the marketplace. So I thought it'd be some good stuff to share.
Yeah, I love it. So what's going on? What are you seeing right now?
Okay, so the auctions are buying only via online, simulcast.
Okay.
So that's Manheim. Are there some other private auctions that are possibly open? That could be. But as far as the mass in Manheim, they are only selling cars via online.
Okay.
What I'm seeing with other dealers, look, there's going to be people right now that contract or expand. And, we survived 2001, 9/11. That was a disaster, but the manufacturers stepped up, gave us crazy, aggressive incentives. And some of my guys had the best-selling month that they have ever had, even to date.
Yeah.
Where we were able to jump out of the first month after 9/11 and sell, 898 brand new Fords. So, people get nervous. They don't know what to do or what's the, some of the best options out there, but they've got to stay strong. They've got to stay out in the marketplace and advertise and I agree with what you're saying. We've got to be careful on some of these pieces as far as reaching out via text. Want to make sure that dealers are using, TCPA compliant products and rules and regulations. Last thing we need, and especially with everything going on, is heat on the dealers more so than what they're dealing with. So I've got some really good guys that are, stepping up and being aggressive, that, are pushing through and doing some strong advertising and marketing. What we've recommended at this point is to stay strong across the board. Make sure that your virtual dealership is intact. That is your golden ticket right there, is to make sure that the website is doing all of the digital retail merchandising that it needs to be, right? That we've got our banners, our slides, our specials, new, used, service, and that we've got a message out there saying, hey, we're open, we're here to do business. We'll do a test drive in your driveway. We'll deliver the car.
Yeah.
We'll service your car. We'll pick it up at your house. So what we did is get on the phone right away with our dealers and say, we've got to stay strong, make sure we have the capability to deliver cars, that we put the message out there, on our website, email, get on social media, whether it's the dealer principal, the GM, the GSM, whoever that best person is to get the message out there and get it out there strong and quick, just to let people know that they're still there, they're ready to do business, and whatever it takes, that we will make sure that the business gets done.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I appreciate you calling in. The question that I had to ask you, and then we got to take another caller, is do you agree that with everything that's going on today, that the manufacturers are going to be launching out some programs that are going to be unprecedented?
Oh, I agree 100%. Absolutely. Now, look, they've already jumped pretty quick to do the 0% for 84 months. And then some have, no payments for 90 days. So they have to do it. I mean, there's, a handful of things that make the world go round, right?
No, totally.
Car business, real estate, a handful of others, but they have to do it. They absolutely will.
Love it. Well, hey, I appreciate you being a loyal follower, and we appreciate your call, and I wish you the best moving forward.
Take care.
Thank you. So we want to move forward here with the second piece of information that I want to share with you today, and it's around phones. Phones are everything. Even before this situation, the top performing dealers were leveraging this device to take things to the next level. And everything that Grant has built and this empire that he's developed here, it's all done with the phone. I mean, I see this guy, he's banging the phone every single day. I mean, Grant is just a maniac on the phone. So it's like phones are relevant now. If you're not good on the phone, you need to find a way to be. And you got to understand the difference between inbound and outbound, even more now than ever. So the bottom line is, if people are calling you, they have interest. There's an opportunity. They're in the market. They know who you are. These are all Captain Obvious stuff. And it's your opportunity to blow. But what I want to focus on is the outbound. Because many of you, in a BDC format, maybe you have your people call in, maybe you're looking at dials, you should be looking at connects and talk time, but you got to get your game really tight on what your call is. They're not expecting your call, especially in today's time. They're not prepared to have a car dealer calling them because they think the world's going to end. But the true beauty of the phone and the true beauty of making the call and having the proper script to reach out, which you need a specific script for today's time to be able to talk to a customer and make it relevant. You want to check in with them. Hey, how's it going? We appreciate you being a customer. We just wanted to reach out to you, make sure everything's going okay, that you understand that our service lane is still open for business, that we also wanted to offer to you some of our special, VIP customers. We have an exchange program. Find out what that script looks like. Get it going. Make the call. Send the text. Send the email. Get on social. You got to do the outbound outreach. And look, maybe they're interested. Maybe they're not. But what's the worst thing they can do? They can hang up on you. They can tell you don't call. I mean, whatever they want to tell you, it doesn't matter. You know what you got to say? Next. Focus on the next customer. Focus on the next call. Make the call. Make the call. Action. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. Pick up the phone. Here it's like we don't go through and do a whole bunch of analysis on who we're going to call. We just pick up the phone, we get on the dialer, and we make the call. We have a script. We follow this script. We continue to make the call because massive action is going to get you everything that you need. 10x rule. Maybe you got to go the 100x rule. I don't know. How many calls is it going to take in today's environment? You got to know that number because I guarantee you many of you maybe didn't even know that number when things were going good. Now you got to have goals, but you got to have targets and measure those to know how to get there, to find out how you need to go outside of your comfort zone of what you need to do to call these people. Maybe you need to call them later at night. Maybe you need to start calling them like during the weekend. Whatever you have to do, pick up the phone, make the call. And I don't know, is Mike Anderson, are you on the line? If you're not, give me a call. I want to find out what's going on at Team Toyota. If you don't have the number, it's 305-865-8668. Mike's a great guy. He's been engaged on our platform for quite a while, and I know that they have a plan in place. I'd love to hear what they're doing. Look, you're making the call. It's preemptive, right? You have way less control on the call. They can hang up on you. They can not answer. I mean, they can, whatever, right? You got to make the call. It's all about volume. People hate to cold call. We have a whole nother business here where we focus on industries outside of automotive. It's all about the cold call. We got guys in the back here that are making, 2,000, 2,500 calls a day, every single day. What are we doing? We're measuring call volume. We're measuring connects. We're measuring talk time. We're measuring how many calls does it take to get an appointment. Of the people that we get on an appointment, what are the close cycles on it? If I have anybody from our sales team that's on this today, Todd Straw, Robart, Spray, any of my killers out there, call in, guys. I'd love you to give your take on what you guys do every single day and have been doing to push things to the levels that you have, because this is what everybody needs to know. This is where legends are made. Legends are made by the ones that are willing to make the call, break through the barrier, break through what they call the terror barrier, okay? People are terrified to make the call. People have call reluctance. People want to quit. You got to break through the terror barrier to get to the other side. What Grant was talking about in the beginning of this call is so relevant, because anybody can be great when times are the way that they've been, and the stock market is at the highest point that it's ever been, that people are rolling through the showroom, the internet leads, you're getting 1,000 internet leads a day. But the real troopers, the real masters, not these Instagram, social media wannabes that want to talk about a positive attitude, want to talk about everything else, and then when it hits the fan, they hunker down in the corner and retract. You need to expand. You need to do whatever you need to do to go to the next level. You got to get aggressive, and you got to be ready to hit the wall. And when you hit that wall, you got to hit it as hard as you can. This is real, guys. This is the type of mindset and attitude that you have to have. So on that call, you got to nail the first 20 seconds. Who are you? Why are you calling? You got to know these things. What's in it for them? A lot of people, you show them WIIFM, they're like, what's that? It's what's in it for them. Let me share some news with you. People don't care about what you want. They care about what's in it for them. So it's got to be, the reason for the call is that we have an opportunity today at our dealership to provide you an offer that we have never seen before since this dealership has been open. The factories, the banks, everybody else is moving this thing forward. We got the greatest programs coming out. We want to talk to you about how we can upgrade your car and get you to a new one, keep your payment the same or lower it. Create that sort of like major claim, the big claim of what these people are going to know when you call them. And again, why are you calling them? That's the big claim. How did you get their name? Simple. You're calling the service customers. You're calling the orphan owners. You're calling people in the database. Hey, this is Jeff over at Cardone Automotive. How you doing? Great. Awesome. Hey, look, the reason for the call is we know that you're a loyal client of ours and you've bought 3 vehicles from us in the past. We know that you're 2 years in on your current vehicle, and we just wanted to reach out and make sure you knew that the offers that are out today are unbelievable. Matter of fact, they're so great that we feel like we could get you out of your car, get you into a new one, keep your payment the same, or potentially even lower it. I know you have your car scheduled for service. I know you're out of warranty. I know your lease vehicle is over mileage. So now is the best time than ever to upgrade your vehicle. Are you with me? Does that make sense? What time works better for you, in the morning or in the afternoon, during the work week or on the weekend? When can we hook up? Hey, you know what? If you can't come in, I'll bring the vehicle to you. That's what you got to do, guys. You got to think outside the box. And I think we have a caller. Hi, this is Jeff.
Mike Anderson on the line.
Oh, nice. Hey, Mike.
Jeff, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, my brother. I'm pushing forward. How's everything going up there at Team Toyota?
Well, we are also pushing forward. As you know, we came down there in December, and we went to the 10X Automotive Academy, had a great time down there, brought back a lot of good energy. We signed on with the Cardone platform for the automotive side, and we've got all our team members engaged. We're locked in. We're doing our training, and, for a good, 60, 75, 80 days, we've been rolling, just selling things. We're getting more aggressive with our closing because we're watching the Cardone videos and just feeling more confidence. And then all of a sudden this thing hits.
Yeah.
And We've seen obviously a reduction in traffic. We've got people that are concerned about the coronavirus and what it is, and I think some of our team members are getting educated about it. But some of the things that we've already set in place as a result of being on Cardone On Demand, by coming down to the summit, by getting on that call on Friday, the Automotive show on Friday mornings, we changed the way we answer the phone.
Yeah.
We're polite, we're friendly.
How do you
we're
answer the
do all
phone,
these
brother? I'm
normal
calling your
things.
dealership right now. How are you gonna handle that customer? Right?
Call them right now. I guarantee you. First of all, they already know, but they're going to answer the phone. It's a great day at Team Toyota. This is Mike. What can I get you information on?
Love that.
Yeah, that's how we're rolling. But so we're trying to do all the little things as far as making sure that we don't ask our customers for a bottle of water. We're still open, by the way. We actually go get them a bottle of water.
I love that, man.
We have people that are in the service drive right now that are dedicated. So when cars come in, we're scanning the vehicle. We're trying to figure out how can we take care of this customer besides doing an oil change. Is there an opportunity to sell another car here? Is there an opportunity to upgrade this customer? Is there an opportunity or a way to maybe lower their interest rate? So we're looking at every single avenue. We're doing video text, phone calls. We're doing text messages. We're doing emails. We're using and streaming every opportunity to get in front of a customer, because right now, people are at home. They're kind of afraid too to come outside the house. So I guess at the end of the day, we're trying to stay motivated. We're trying to keep perspective that we're in control of our own destiny, and trying to keep everybody's heads right is our number one. As a management team, that's our number one goal.
Now, have you seen any changes in regards to service traffic, or what kind of tactics and approaches have you guys rolled out since this whole thing went down?
So our service traffic is not what it was a week ago. So it is. We are seeing some of the impacts of the coronavirus, and some of the impacts in the area, especially with retailers closing, restaurants closing. A lot of the dealerships in the area are still open, so I think everybody's kind of watching everybody. But our service department is, we're still reaching out to our customers. We volunteered to go pick up their vehicles. If they're afraid to come out, we're volunteering to take vehicles to customers' houses. We're willing to do whatever it takes to take care of that customer.
I love that, man. And if you guys aren't familiar with Mike, I'd recommend following him. He's at Team Toyota. This guy is killing it up there. They're dedicated to being successful, and be a great person to reach out to if you have any questions. Mike, we appreciate you so much, brother, and thank you for calling in.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for having us, and we appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us. You guys are very supportive, and we're grateful. And, it's amazing the difference it makes when you have a structured training platform. We train every single day, Monday through Friday. Saturday we do a little rally in the morning, but we train, and we're sticking to the principles that you guys taught us down at that Automotive Summit. And I got to be honest with you, we were really disappointed that we couldn't come down. We should have been there today, and we were disappointed that that team couldn't come down. But we understand, and we're looking forward to the next one. And we are a part of the where we're going to be coming down every single month, because sometimes the motivator needs to be motivated.
Yep.
And that energy that you guys bring down there, especially with Sean Bradley and Grant and yourself and Jared Gallant and some of the other people that you guys got down there, you guys really provide a great service, and we're grateful.
I appreciate you, brother.
And my
Thank you so
10X
much.
flag is flying high above my house right now.
I know it is,
Hello.
man. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so we got to hear from a couple people, talk about what's going on out there. Again, feel free to call in. I'm going to continue moving forward here. So look, at the end of the day, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared on what you're doing, whether it's inbound, outbound, whether they're coming in the service lane, they're not. You got to make the call, be prepared, have a plan, have a script, be ready to roll. You got to be honest, transparent, and straightforward. Look, nobody wants smoke screens. You got to be real. You got to let people know, look, we understand this is a difficult circumstance right now, but being that we're in the community, we want to provide back to you. We want to provide value and do whatever it takes to understand and make them understand that you have empathy for what's going on right now. Look, you got to be interesting, man. You got to be different. You got to be outside of the box. You got to have some good tonality. We're not going to get into that today because I got a whole phone masterclass that we have here that's a deep dive intensive on the phones. But the number one thing, the difference between in person and on the phone is you only have one thing, and that's tonality. Don't sound like a damn robot. Don't talk in like a monotone voice. I mean, look, man, you got to be excited. You got to get people to get their attention to realize who's this guy. They're a freak, that when they answer the phone, they want to talk to you because you are the beacon. You are the one that has a positive attitude and is not like, buying into all this stuff that's going on out there. Hey, Johnny, just throw up this phone masterclass. We got a slide on this thing here. I am looking forward, and I believe in May. That's not that one, Johnny. It's the phone masterclass. We got this one going on too, but I want to tell you about the phone masterclass. Phone masterclass is going to be here in Miami on May 20th. It's going to be a full day. We're going to have scripts. We're going to have, role play, practicals. I have some people that came to this and literally it like changed their life. It changed their business. It helped them really find out where the kinks were and what they're doing. Maybe we don't have the slide today, that's okay. But it's something that to invest one day to come down here. And I actually have I have two specials that I'm gonna announce to you guys today that we're literally, I was talking to Grant and he's like, let's give back to our dealers. Let's give back to the industry and create some events where you can come down here and really level up your game. Because look, you got to invest in yourself right now. You got to bet on yourself and get yourself skilled up to get to the next level. So with that being said, actually Johnny just popped it up on the screen. I want you to pop it up again. One of the things that we've rolled out here for those of you that have been following us for a while, maybe you're on Cardone On Demand, maybe you're not. Cardone On Demand is our virtual training platform. We have over 4,000 segments on there to be able to watch. The biggest problem in the automotive industry is even though the information's there, it's on the virtual platform, there's 4,000 segments, it's very difficult to get your people engaged to use it. So we've rolled out a Cardone Automotive coaching plan. So if you want to get one-on-one time with either myself or my head of training, Ed Rhodes, I've been in the car business 25 years. I think Ed's been in it 30 years. We understand the business. We can talk to your people and relate to them on what's going on. This is not some person that we just hired that's never sold a car before. We're talking about experienced people inside of the industry. This is typically $2,495 a month, 52 weeks of one-on-one coaching. Not something like this for the masses, specifically for your team. So what we're doing for the next 48 hours is we're going to give back and we're going to provide two options for you. If you would like 2 coaching calls a month, it's $495. If you want us to be with you every single week, it's $995. The question I have to ask you is that if you could train with me or one of my guys, with Ed, or any of the people that we have here that have been able to take this to the next level, what kind of impact would that make on your business? What if we could be in your ear every single week on a virtual training call? What kind of impact would that make? For those of you today that your sales teams, where the showroom's closed, you have people out there, they're working remote, you're trying to figure out, are you going to be able to keep them? Are you going to have to make changes? You can keep them engaged with these coaching calls, get them prepared for battle, and you can implement what I talked about earlier with going through your database, working your people in the service lane, making the call. If your people aren't trained properly on how to make the call, how can they make it? If they don't know how to prospect, how are they going to do it? This is an example here. We have 20 managed learning courses that we've developed. So it's 20 workbooks. This thing is like, I think, over 600 pages of exercises, of ways that we can work with your people to be able to bring out from them their greatness. It's custom for your dealership. So if you guys struggle on the phones, we're going to handle it. If you struggle with follow-up, we're going to handle it. If you can't handle objections, we're going to handle it. We're going to make sure that we can support you to get your team to the next level. So that's what we have going on. It's a special for the next 48 hours. It's a stupid deal. If you go $495 a month or you go $995 a month, you're going to get immense value. And I will tell you this. If you're on the call today and you don't have Cardone on demand, I will give you a 7-day free trial to go through the system and see all of the content that we have in there. But at the end of the day, you got to have a coach. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't figure it out why the hell he would want to go play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he's going to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's got 8 million coaches, man. He's got a nutrition coach. He's got a quarterback coach. He's got a head coach. He's got a mindset coach. Hell, his wife is probably his coach. Everybody has a coach. You got to have somebody to be able to get you through this mess to the next level. You know, maybe your GM, maybe your sales manager, maybe your GSM, you know, maybe they have the time. I don't know. Most people can't be omnipresent. We're going to work with you arm in arm to get you to the next level. I feel fortunate enough that my coach, my original mentor, I get to represent him every single day. And I find you got to find one person and you got to follow that person and help them coach you to get to the next level. So that's the offer that we have for you today, Cardone Automotive Coaching. So yeah, where can we get it? So we can get it at Cardone Automotive Resources /coaching. Cardone Automotive Resources /coaching. If you don't want to mess with the website, hit me up, jeff@grantcardone.com. I'll be more than happy to have a consultation with you, give you a walkthrough on it. Hell, I'm even going to give you one free coaching call for free so you can test it out. How about that? No risk. You'll see what you're getting. I promise you're going to see it and be blown away. So we really appreciate everybody jumping on today. I hope that I was able to provide you some takeaways that when you get off this call, you can pick up the phone, you can have a different mindset, whether you're going to start today, you're going to start tomorrow, you're going to try something different. We're going to break through this storm. We're going to be stronger than we ever were before. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. on GrantCardone.com, GrantCardoneTV.com /10X Auto. If it's easier, if you follow Grant on Facebook, you follow him on YouTube, going live at 10 a.m. and I'm going to talk about something that's very important to me. And if you don't know this, you need to understand it because look, you need to know how to sell the different personality styles. So we're going to be going through that tomorrow. So when you run up against somebody that's a grinder, you roll up against somebody that just wants to talk your ear off, or you run into somebody that wants to run all the analysis, and if it's the right way to do the deal, I'm going to tell you how to deal with all of them. 10 a.m. tomorrow on Grant Cardone Facebook, YouTube, GrantCardoneTV.com /10X Auto. I'm Jeff Bounds. This is Cardone Automotive Resources. We're going to break through this, and we're going to do it 10X style. I'll talk to you guys later.